The Saturday Modern Challenge is in the books, and we're seeing a clearer and clearer picture of what the new modern metagame is looking like. And truth be told, I mean, it's changing basically every 2 weeks. We have a completely new set of decks taking the top spots. But as of the Saturday and Sunday challenges, especially if we look at the Saturday challenges, we're seeing a lot of blue-red Murktide and a lot of Hammer Time. Now, the top 10 slots of the last Saturday Modern Challenge is relatively diverse, but if we go down the ranks, we start seeing a lot more Hammer, a lot more Murktide. Hey, look at that! We've got a Merfolk deck here, not bad, and another Hammer deck. Also pairing that up with a lot of Shardless Agent decks. I am so impressed that this Crashing Footfall decks would like survive. I thought it would just be like this sort of cute thing that would show up on like week 1 and 2 of the Modern Horizons 2 metagame. But it stood the test of time. Turns out, Shardless Agent into, 2/4/4 trampling creatures is good value. Good enough to compete with the rest of this stuff. And this is very interesting. Doom Switch, Control Master. I mean, this guy plays a control deck here or there, no matter what. Dumps control to play the blue-red Murktide deck. Just an outrageously powerful deck. And I have to admit, like, when the Murktide region hits the battlefield, you're just dead unless you can deal with this. And there's less and less options to answer Murktide region. Maybe we need Path to Exile to be good again, but it's hard to play Path to Exile when you also have to compete with things like Dragon's Rage Chandler and Ragavan. But this only tells a little bit of the story, because word on the street for Sunday is that Hammer Time got 4 spots in the top 8. There are 4 Hammer Times in the top 8 of the Sunday challenge. We'll have confirmation on this probably by tomorrow. But that is a lot of Hammer Times. Esper Sentinel doing very good work in this deck, especially since, if you want to interact with this deck very early on, because you have to, or you're going to take like 10, 20 damage to the face, you're not going to have the mana to pay for Esper Sentinel, which is Rhystic Study on a creature. So this was an excellent addition to the archetype. Now, there's a new card though that is not popping up here, but is I'm guessing is a very new card coming from the new D&D set, Forgotten Realms, and I got wiped out by this card myself. Ingenious Smith. So Forgotten Realms is active already on Magic the Gathering Online, because you can find these cards in like treasure chests. They put them in the chest early on. It's like almost like a sneak spoiler to the set. So you do have access to the set already. And it's like mini Stoneforge Mystic. Ingenious Smith enters the battlefield. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Whenever one or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Ingenious Smith. This ability triggers only once each turn. But the point is, you dig a little bit deeper for the artifacts that matter. For things like, for Colossus Hammer, Pithing Needle, Springleaf Drum, Welding, any of these cards is totally fine. And of course, you have enough artifacts in the deck that this creature could get a little bit big. I died to this card. This card killed me. They played Ingenious Smith, and I'm like, who cares? No big deal. And then they found Colossus Hammer and killed me on the spot. So then I was dead to Ingenious Smith. So looks like Hammer Time got big upgrade here with Ingenious Smith. And it is definitely one of the decks to beat. I mean, it is the affinity of the format, more or less. I mean, it's a lot of cheap cards, and then you just try to put a gigantic equipment on the creature, and then kill. And remember, it's hard to block. Hammer says equipped creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying, but that's BS, because they attack with the Ornithopters. Are you going to block? Oh, you're not going to block? Okay, after the blocker step, because the Sigard is 8, you're going to play the Colossus Hammer and equip it to an Ornithopter. You take a full 10. So it looks like, if I were to give, the top 3 decks I'm currently seeing here, it would be somewhere between the Murktide decks, the Hammer decks, and the Suspend decks, just in various forms. I want to say, not exactly, like, each archetype is independent of its own, but, they're basically Shardless Agent decks. We got the Footfalls deck. We've got Grieving End. You better believe this is going to be playing with... we have Violent Outburst and Shardless Agent. What else do we have? And another Footfalls deck. So we have as a lot of a lot of people predicted Charlotte's Agent would see play, but we didn't know it was going to see play like the way it actually has. So anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome Coffee Crew to the morning show where we discuss all things Magic. Get your questions fired up. Let's have a great conversation this morning. Also, we do Decklist review. So if you got a 75 you'd like some feedback on, submit it to us, and both myself and the Coffee Crew will take a look and give you that feedback. So brew up those coffees. Let's brew up some Magic this morning. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for July 12, 2021. I am your host, Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. Good morning. Good morning, Harry, James, Walter, Black Vic, MTG Ectoplasm, Steven, Mareep, Andrew. Oh, wow. What exit in New Jersey do you live in? I don't know. Maybe there's some conversation I'm not following exactly. Good morning, Freestyle, Shadow, Turek, Thomas Penny, Papa Joe, Fraser T, New York, Gyrant. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Adrian. And good morning, Wet Willie. Should I buy humans or Jund in this new meta? I would put my trust. I mean, both of them are awkward, but I might trust humans a little bit more than I trust Jund, given that it has really good potential versus the combo decks, especially I think the Footfall decks. In my opinion, I think it should be good. I mean, you put that Thalia Garden of Thraben on the battlefield, and now they're suffering. They need that extra mana if they want to get that Crashing Footfalls or that Living End off. Anyway, check. Are there any new deals on Fusion Gaming Online? Deal of the week. Our sponsor today, Fusion Gaming Online, 15% off all white border sets. Interesting. Now that could be really big value if you're looking for your mana vaults, your volcanic islands. There's a lot of reserve list cards, super high priced, but you can get 15% off. That can be in the tunes of hundreds of dollars if you're in the market for that stuff. You can find that at fusiongamingonline.com. Don't forget, it's not 15% off. It's actually 20% or a little bit more than 20% off. If you use coupon code Nikachu at checkout, supports the channel and gets 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. The metagame changing every 2 weeks. I mean, wasn't it like just a few weeks ago the food deck was the best deck in the format, and we saw the evolution of the food deck between black-green going to blue-red to blue-black, then to Grixis, and now it's gone. Now no one's playing food. People just want to play the Murktide deck. People just want to play the Footfalls deck. People just want to be playing the Dragon Rage Channeler decks. And if you want to stay on top of the metagame, no matter how it's changing, where it's going, you can rent the deck with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 15% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu. All right, you know the drill, everyone. 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question helps me find your questions amongst all the comments. Or you could cheat the system with super chats. Donate with a super chat, and boom, your question gets pushed to the top of my feed. Super chat's only available on YouTube, though. Doc the Glass Bottle. Would you say Modern is healthy? Also, good morning. I was once told that a sign of a healthy format is when it's changing, like it's adapting to itself over and over again. And that is exactly what we see right now in Modern. Like, there is no particular deck that is dominating for too long. I mean, even the Black-Red Dragon Rage Channeler deck, the Ragavan deck, was in very large numbers like a week or so ago, and now it's significantly reduced in numbers. Still around, but what I'm saying is, like, the metagame is changing. It's adapting week in and week out. That is a sign of I think is a sign of a healthy metagame. Nothing can stay on top. Nothing is dominant. Hammer Time is so consistent with Urza Saga amongst many other cards, but yes, it is. Super ultra consistent. Chris Menz with the super chat. No question today. Just want to send some love. Oh, thank you very much, Chris. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the love, all the support everyone gives to this channel. It's amazing. Lord Magicka says, I was once told a sign of an unhealthy Modern is when people want to jam main deck Chalice on 0 and 1. That's true too. That was mentioned by Brian Kibler. Chalice of the Void. I can't remember how he phrased it, but he says Chalice of the Void was a good barometer for how healthy a modern format was. And if you start playing Chalice of the Void, or if a lot of decks start playing Chalice of the Void, we even see it in the Murktide decks. Let's see, hold on, where's a Murktide deck? Where's Doom Switch? Yeah, he's got the Chalice of the Voids. You see that in the sideboard? Boom. But I think it's mostly in here for it to be put on 0, not to be put on 1, to deal with all the Shardless Agent decks. So it's like Void Mirror, but for 0 mana. It's a 0 mana Void Mirror for the most part. That's the way I'm looking at it. It's very consistent with Urza Saga. Death by Tech. What do you think about the Golgari Sacrifice deck? I'm not familiar with the Golgari Sacrifice deck, unless you're talking about the food deck, which, I mean, it's very playable, very good. Not as big as it was before, but still a very competent archetype. If you want to play it, it's good. But outside of that, I'm not sure what the new Golgari Sacrifice deck is. For you, is better Murktide or Hammer? You know, if I were to bet which one is going to be more resistant to the metagame changing, I would bet on Murktide. And I would bet that Hammer could be hated out if people want to, but I think the Murktide deck, it's just like that sort of Delver-esque deck that, I mean, you can adapt all you want, but they'll adapt back. It's just a bunch of good stuff cards for the most part, nothing particularly one-sided OP, and they're a little diversified against Chalice, not super big time, but a little bit. I mean, they're playing Chalice themselves, mostly for 0, of course, but I think the Hammer Time deck could receive a lot of hate, enough hate that the deck would just it would get shut down. So now that being said, I think Hammer Time, I mean, they're both actually competent of winning tournaments, but Hammer Time I think has a better chance of spiking an event out of nowhere, especially when people are not prepared. It's a more powerful deck in a vacuum, I would say. I think Hammer Time is more powerful in a vacuum. James says, can you dismember the Murktide before the counters touch the Murktide being a 3/3 until the counters stick? Nope. I have bad news for you. Cannot do that. Murktide comes into play with the counters. Comes into play with the counters. So as you delve things, see, it enters the battlefield with the counters. It's not when it enters the battlefield, put counters on it. So it's just entering the battlefield. As it enters the battlefield, it just gets the counters. And yeah, you have no opportunity to dismember it. Otherwise, Lightning Bolt would be pretty strong against this card, but it's not. Lightning Bolt sucks. Lightning Bolt sucks. Good morning, everyone. Nadzozink, Pabat, RG, Aztec Guy, Samus, Final Boss, Victor, Gray. Good morning, everyone. Straw Boss, what do you think of Hand of Vecna? I've taken down 2 limited events with 1. Let's take a look at this card. An artifact. At the beginning of combat on your turn, equip creature or creature you control named Vecna gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Equip. Pay 1 life for each card in your hand. Ouch! Or equip 2. So you have the option to pay a lot of life. If you have a lot of cards in hand, pay a lot of life to equip the thing. I mean, for limited, maybe this is a bomb. For constructed, I don't think it's very playable. Not what I'm looking for. Not what I'm looking for. Now, the main reason is that there's so much removal in the format that whatever you equip this thing to, they'll just kill it. And that becomes a problem. Sometimes a problem even in Hammer Time. But at least Hammer Time can be really super fast and quick, and they can re-equip things even after you kill it. Like, they constantly equip it with this gigantic hammer. And the hammer didn't cost 3 mana. Only cost 1. Any tier 0 decks in the format? Not yet. I thought it would be the food deck, but it's not the food deck at all. Format adapted completely. Mareep asks, am I a monster for liking white bordered cards? Nope, people love white. There's a taste out there for white border cards, but I will say people are monsters when they artist alter black border cards into white border cards. I think that's a bit weird, but you know, hey, to each their own, but that seems like you're torturing the cards. Squid Guy, when is your brother getting a mic for the Twitch streams? He has a mic already. You can't hear him? He has a mic. He's clearer than ever before. Kyron Jared Rodriguez, what do you think of the Domain Aggro deck? Do you think it's modern viable even at just the F&M level? Yes, it's 100% viable at the F&M level. It has not stood the test of time for the most part in a competitive in the competitive leagues. Sorry, competitive challenges and stuff like that. But between like playing leagues, playing out of your FNM, it's totally fine. No problem there. RG, where there are any modern cards in the D&D set, I just got a new job. Haven't seen a lot of the set. Just the Demolich card. Well, there's 2 cards, I guess. We've got Ingenious Smith is apparently a card. Not a card I thought Hammer Time wanted, but a card that they're ending up playing. This person looks familiar. Like this is an actress somewhere. Can't put my finger where. But anyway, we got Ingenious Smith, and then we have the This is not very descriptive. Oh no, Demolich. Yeah, Demolich. This might be modern playable. Might. No, Aspiring Spike did a lot of testing with this. Is it even in any decks? Did any decks play the Demolich card? Did it see the light of day? I'm just wondering if it's competing with Murktide. See, there's no Demolich card here. But this is the potential card that might be playable. And a lot of people ask me, is this a easily not modern playable card? Not really. Like, you got to see how it plays out. The problem is you have to cast spells to make this thing cheaper. So, like, you're not really making that much cheaper. Like, yeah, Manamorphose will make it a little bit cheaper. And I don't think it's overwhelmingly strong. I think Stormwing Entity is infinitely better than this card, actually. Because I think the scrying part of Stormwing Entity is the real value of it. Because you get to dig for more gas. Whereas Demolich, you can get more gas if it attacks. But the problem is if they kill it, then you don't really get that much value at all. You have to attack with it, no ETB at all. Whereas if you kill the Stormwing Entity, value was had. Value was had, people. Black-green decks, seeing some play with Prismatic Ending and all the stuff they got from Modern Horizons 2. Yes, so there's some Abzan decks starting to see some play. Because there was an Abzan deck that made the top 8, I think, last week of a Modern Challenge. Thomas Penny says the meta, Blue-Red Region, Rakdos, Hammertine, Amuletide, Living End, and Shardless Rhinos. Maybe. Where'd Amulet go? Amulet started to disappear. Maybe because they have a bad matchup versus Hammer Time. I imagine that the Hammer deck can just Goldfish race them easily. Get all the hammers you want. Who cares? And I think they have a competent sideboard. It's like, what do they have to do? Just like Path to Exile 1 or 2 things and that's it? How many paths are they playing? 1 path, Fragmentize, Seal, Prisma. Oh, they're playing Prismatic Ending themselves. Interesting. Interesting. Demir, aside from Champion of the Parish, what cards from other decks archetypes would you like a Merfolk version of? Aside from Champion of the Parish, then Mausoleum Wanderer. I want a much better Curse Catcher. Curse Catcher could be a hell lot better if it could counter things based on how big it was. How about Murktide versus Black Red? Yeah, well, they're both pretty good. They're both really strong, competent archetypes. So far, Murktide has a little bit of a lead, and maybe it has the edge in the mirror because all the cards. Sorry, not all the cards. The region itself is a pretty damn big creature that's very hard for the Black-Red deck to deal with. Fatal Push and Lightning Bolt aren't very effective against it. So maybe Murktide has a bit of an edge, but they're still both very strong decks. When can we play Paper Magic again? I miss the real thing. Depends where you are, where you live. There's a lot of, I'm looking on Twitter. Tons of people are going back to FNM. The FNMs are open. So it depends on your region. I know in my region, it's still locked down. We got nothing. No FNM whatsoever. You can go to the store to buy cards, but you can't play yet. Path to Exile is good because of Murktide, but the problem is it's good because of Murktide, but it's bad because of Murktide. Because the other parts of Murktide the Ragavan, the Dragon Rage Chandler. You don't want to path those things. You don't want to give your opponent mana. So that's the problem, is that it's good specifically versus Murktide, but against nothing else. What do you think about a Bosch in Burn? It sounds terrible. Specifically in Burn, you lose access to Lightning Helix, Boros Charm, Searing Blaze, Searing Blood, basically all the core of most important cards. Skullcrack, you lose access to Skullcrack, very important for Burn. So I don't know if it can work in Burn. You got to make would have to build a list around it. It doesn't matter. No, hold on. What does a Bosch say? So creatures or anything? No, yeah, it's anything, right? If a source you control with an odd converted mana cost would deal damage to a permanent player, deals double that damage to that permanent player instead. You also lose access to who's the party guy? Eidolon of the Great Revel. So you lose access to Eidolon. I think for this one card, you lose like 5 really core cards to the Burn deck. I don't know if it's worth it. And by the way, it's a clunky card. Remember, you like Burn. How often do you have 5 mana on Burn? Not often. So I think this is a slam dunk no. Sorry, don't work. Keegan. Hey Nikachu, what do you think about the number of new products and new cards entering the modern metagame? It overwhelms me. Oh, it overwhelms you now? Were you around for Modern Horizons 1, followed by Throne to Eldraine, followed by what was it? Like it was just like set after set after set of just bomb cards just entering Modern. What was the one with the companions? Oh, Ikoria. So like what? So we had Modern Horizons 1 shakes up everything. Hogak, all that other business, and then we got so what do we got? We got Hogak. Hogak was a huge card. Oh, it's not Hogak, it's Hogak. At Hogak, we had Urza, Lord High Artificer. Then we had Throne of Eldraine that gave us Oko, Thief of Crowns. We got Oko, Thief of Crowns. And then it was not just that. Bone Crusher Giant was a really strong card. And then we had Ikoria, right? Was it... did it go Theros first? So we had Theros. That gave us Uro. Forgetting Uro had this many cards called Uro. We had Uro. That was a big shakeup for basically like 2 years. Oh, sorry, no, for a full year. Then there was Ikoria. Yeah, I forgot. Once Upon a Time got banned really quickly. Wait, Ikoria is not a card, but like companions were. We had a companion meta until there was an errata to the stupid rule, so that make them more nerfed. Like back then, it was like every few months, Modern just got completely shooken up. It's like putting, I don't know. It's like a box full of... Modern was put in a box. You put new stuff in the box, and you just shake it up every so often. I mean, it was the most volatile period of Modern I have ever seen. So, between, Modern Horizons 2, I would say Forgotten Realms, it's pretty tame. It's pretty tame. This is okay. This was the scariest card on everyone's radar, and it doesn't even see play. Just put it that way. This is the scariest part of... My mic quality is bad? Hold on. My mic quality is great. What are you talking about? I've got great mic quality. My mic quality is fantastic. Oh, maybe it's hearing the other microphone. Sorry about that. That's possible. I turned down the other microphone. I have 2 microphones here. There's one a little bit far from me. Sanctifier on Vac is stronger than Oriok Champion. Change my mind. It has a different purpose. But, I mean, it's possible that is just better. Just because the built-in graveyard hate is so important. I imagine if you really need the life gain, if Prowess and Burn were a big thing, that would be much better than this card. Otherwise, against a Burn deck, this is just like a weak removal spell for a creature on board. Like for a Goblin Guide, you just play it and they hope they don't attack. Oh, it might be the streaming software, or it might be my internet. I'm getting too heated. Oh, Mike, is it weird today? I'm gonna have to figure it out. Sorry about that. Is Suspend all right against all Murky? It keeps it limited to a 3/3. I would say it's not that great. It's not the best. Oh, hold on. I have an idea. Well, let me check my audio settings. Okay, I fixed it. Now, I'm pretty sure I understand what was going on. There was some sort of noise cancellation on. Let me know if that fixed the audio issues. Pretty sure it's good now. Next top 10, yeah, the next top 10 decks is gonna come out soon. Which is funny. I don't know, my third last video was not too long ago, or the last video I had was like 3 videos ago. Gotta get back to the grind. Actually, you know what? Now I'm quiet. You sound great, but now a bit more quiet. That's how it should be. Well, I think that in that case, you have to turn up your volume. I can't turn up my volume. Yeah, I'm maxed out. Yeah, you have your own damn volume controls. You guys do this. Okay, I have a question to everybody. What are your favorite Easter eggs, or any Easter eggs you found in Magic cards? Like, if I were to share one, oh, what was it called? God of the... Was it Pharaoh God? I don't remember the creature. Oh, there's tons of Easter eggs in Magic. What happened to my sound? I took echo cancellation off, which probably turns down the volume of the stream, which means you have to turn your volume up. This microphone in general is very, very quiet. Shadows over Innistrad clue tokens and investigate at the time had a puzzle. That is neat. Doorkeeper is really cute. Is this an Easter egg? M10 Lightning Bolt reference the original Lightning Bolt. That's interesting. Okay, so we look up Lightning Bolt. And you said the M10 one. Shoot, which one is M10? The Spark Mage shrieked, calling on the rage of the storms of his youth. To his surprise, the sky responded with a fierce energy he'd never thought to see again. Interesting. Like, well, what I want to say... Okay, so there was... What was the cartouche? These cartouches apparently can be paired up with each other. Somebody figured out that the cartouches, like especially, which one? MTG cartouche. There we go. See? So apparently they all match up with each other individually. And someone on Reddit figured that out. I'd love to see the original post though. With they cut up the cards to pair them up with each other. Easter egg: a Snapcaster Mage in the lower left of Through the Breach with Emrakul coming from the clouds. Ooh, that's an interesting one. So hold on. Uh, which one here? Oh, you mean this one? Oh, this is the Snapcaster Mage? I didn't notice this is Snapcaster Mage in the bottom left. I mean, of course, this is Emrakul. Well, let's see if there's any of them I missed here. You guys have a lot of stuff. OG Niv Mizzet flavor text. Which one's the OG? Sorry, I'm not familiar which one's the OG. Miwu says, I like the collar that they're referencing in Ancient Grudge is actually Avacyn's collar, the symbol of her church. Does everyone remember? There was some throne of the god Pharaoh or something like that. God Pharaoh. But like, am I spelling this right? God Pharaoh. Throne of the god Pharaoh. There was some god Pharaoh card from like Gate Crash. And it had Nicol Bolas's hat on with the little dot, but I don't remember what the card was called. Niv Mizzet Firemind? As brilliant as a cut diamond and with just as cruel an edge. But I'm guessing there might be a... Oh, interesting. What the hell is this? Z to 90 degrees, subtract... I have no idea what this equation is. To the power of 90 degrees times t equals 1. Turn my head? I don't get it. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, if I turn my head 90 degrees... I don't know what I'm looking for. What the hell? Oh, it says Niv Mizzet is number 1 in math. Okay. Flip the card clockwise. I don't know what I'm looking for. Okay, hold on. So if let's save this image. We're getting to the bottom of this. Okay, it's turned one way. What are we looking for? The Z is an N? Ah, Niv E, I don't know what this is. E-N, it's on Z. I just see the Niv. Oh, M, Miz. Is it supposed to be I or a T? Niv Mizzet. Oh, or is this the T? Niv Miz. Oh, times 2? Because there's 2 of them. This is an E. Oh, this is a great Easter egg. This is fantastic. Oh, this is a nice one. I love this. Thank you for sharing. That's a fantastic Easter egg. This is a great one. The font makes it look bad. Yeah, I get it. But like, you know what? That was a good one. That was very, very good. Oh, that was a huge gem. Yeah, it was an equation. It looks like an equation. It's just playing with our minds. Let's see if there's any other Easter eggs you guys mentioned. The Pestermite and Kiki are being recruited by Imperial Recruiter in the back of the alternate art. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Imperial Recruiter. Oh, whoops. Like, how am I spelling this wrong? So here's Imperial Recruiter. But in the special art one, we see a Pestermite and Kiki Jiki. So we have, you know, insinuating you can go for the combo with this one. You can go with the combo. So if you see very closely here, we've got a Pestermite flying in the air. And over here, we've got a Kiki Jiki. And what do you got together? Infinite creatures, infinite damage. Oh, this guy, one word, Nikachu. Fabulous. I can't. Fabulous. I know there's some Easter eggs involved with that guy, but I don't know all of them. Were you talking about Gem of Becoming earlier? I don't think so. Maybe. No. No, it's a much older card. Do you know what? But that's interesting. This is an old card too. I wasn't talking about Gem of Becoming, but you know, this is it's a little bit further because it insinuated that Nicol Bolas was a god before anyone knew Nicol Bolas was a god, and it didn't even read anything. The card didn't mention Nicol Bolas at all. I think it was from Gate Crash. Gate Crash Tomb. It was called Tomb of something. It was I don't know if it was from actual Great Gate Crash, but it was like in that era, you know, around the Ravnica time period. Tomb, maybe Gate Crash God. Now this is gonna bother me. I can't find this card. I don't know what it is. And maybe it isn't Gate Crash. Anyway, it was an interesting discussion. Thanks for letting me know all your Easter eggs. Those were really cool. I might have to call on you guys again for more Easter eggs. I'd love to make a video compiling a bunch of them together. Urza Academy Headmaster has a website you can go to in the text box. Urza Academy Headmaster, what is this place? Oh, I see. Headmaster has a website you can go to in the text box. Right. Head to askurza.com and click -6. Head to askurza.com and click. Yeah, so there's an actual website associated with this card. Anyway, every clue in Innistrad has actual clues to the story. Neat. The story of the Angel and Angel Flight of Alabaster is told through like 4 cards over different sets. Okay, that's impressive. The entire flip of the thing was cool. Suddenly the creature had a name and appeared on all sorts of cards. Yes, and in all weird situations. What changed in Hammer Time that they are so good right now is it's mostly Urza's Saga. It's mostly Urza's Saga, but they might have got one more boost from the Forgotten Realms set. But it's mostly Urza's Saga. Urza's Saga hit the scene, and, you know, basically by turn 3 they can find their hammer, and it can be all over. So it's very consistent. Domain Zoo combined with Thoughtseize? You can try it. You can try it, but I think they're more interested in protecting themselves on the board. Like, you can have it in the sideboard or whatever, but it's possible. Go try it out. It's pronounced Fibblethip. Okay, I'll call it Fibblethip from now on. You have to see Grim Lavamancer and Obstinate Familiar. Okay, so let's go look at Grim Lavamancer. So fools dig for water, corpses are gold, the earth's real treasure is far deeper. And then we're going to, let's duplicate this tab. We're gonna go look at Obstinate Familiar. If you would draw a card, you may skip that draw instead. Lizards make excellent familiars. They never know when they've lost. Mattock Lavamancer. Fools dig for water, corpses are gold. The earth's real treasure is far deeper. Hold on, there's a lizard here. Oh, the lizard is on the Lavamancer. There's a lizard, and there's Grim Lavamancer with the lizard. I never even knew there was a lizard on this guy. I thought that was just part of his cloak. Yeah, the lizard in the art. I mean, I never saw this lizard here, ever. I just thought it was part of the cloak. And the Lavamancer's on the lizard. It's a pretty big lizard. That's heavy. But this was printed way long ago, like before Lavamancer even came into existence. Right? I think this is a very old card. But then, hold on, Grim Lavamancer was an old card. It was from Torment. Okay, they were sort of around the same era. I had no idea. Oh, but was it on the original one? No, it was. The OG Grim Lavamancer has this lizard. Yeah, you see the lizard better on the OG Lavamancer. So every Grim Lavamancer has a lizard. We have only one Obstinate Familiar because you're not nearly as interesting. You're looking for Vengeful Pharaoh? Maybe. Please let this be it. Vengeful... Yes! Yes! This is exactly what I was looking for. So apparently somebody found a long time ago that this was probably... Well, this... I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this... Nicol Bolas or what? Because I don't see Nicol Bolas being some dead zombie. And we know now that Nicol Bolas did turn into a pharaoh. I don't know if Nicol Bolas is dead though. This particular character is dead and has that same sort of, or are they acting out Nicol Bolas? A pharaoh that's pretending to be Nicol Bolas. Well, Nicol Bolas is a dragon, but who knows? When you become a zombie, maybe they all look the same. Well, it's definitely at least a reference to Nicol Bolas. It's probably someone he anointed as a priest of Bolas. Because this was a long time ago. This was back in M12. This was years. Well, maybe not too far away from when they made the Devastation set. All of the original Gatelands spelled a secret message. Wizards of the Coast did an article on this. We don't have any tier 0 cards. Oh, I don't know. Pauper sounds like it's in bad shape. People have been talking about Pauper being in really bad shape recently. Maybe stole the power and the helmet, maybe. But anyway, this was an interesting card because it insinuated something to do with Nicol Bolas and being a pharaoh, like way before the set came out. Maybe it was the last Pharaoh of Amonkhet before it even happened. There's no flavor text on this card. So no one really truly understood the context of this. So hold on, the gate lands? So what is something gate? The gate spelled something? Embedded puzzle. You may not have noticed, and well, that's actually kind of the point. There's been a puzzle hidden inside the Return of Ravnica, Gate Crash, and Dragon's Maze. A puzzle not unlike the one Jace has been unraveling, but this puzzle lives in the flavor text of the guild gates. It's hard to see, but if you look closely at the flavor text, you can make out that there's a few letters are minutely offset from the others. Check your own guild gates. They're here. They're there. Did you see that? Oh, interesting. How is it like a little off? You mean it's been raised? Oh yeah, you're right. So the E has been raised a little bit, the D has been raised a little bit, the I's been raised a bit. So it's E-I-D-A. Is that a mistake? What are these letters? What do they mean? What is the secret message? It's not a mistake. It's the fruit of labor from a number of people behind the scenes, but primarily to Doug Bear, blah, 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 blah. What does it mean? He loves puzzles and Easter eggs, giving us those secret things. Okay, so what is the, what's the message? Okay, these are all the letters. Click to reveal, please. The guilds of Ravnica will destroy each other unless the maze is solved and the guild pact reborn. You got it there, people. If you were able to detect that the letters in the flavor text were a little bit raised more than anything else, you would have had the opportunity to unscramble this message. This should be like, they should do this, but like, you know, go to www.something.com to claim your reward. All right, Dio Brando. Rakdos Ixspitter is shooting the people in Twin Strike Dissension. The art matches up and they're done at by the same artist, so I think it's canon. Interesting. So let's look at Rakdos Ixspitter. Sorry I can't get to everybody's Easter eggs. I'll probably look at this video later. Rakdos Ixspitter deals 1 damage to target creature, but that's not the point. Okay, so the arts match up. Shooting the people in Twin Strike. Oh, is that right? Hold on, Rakdos Ixspitter, and then Twin Strike deals 2 damage to each of 2 targets. So I guess there's 2 Ixspitters or something. Hold on, deals 1 damage to target creature, and that creature's control loses 1 life. So one of these is supposed to be a creature, one of these is supposed to be us. Neat stuff. Easter egg tier list video when I need more Easter eggs, people. You gotta send, if you've got more Easter eggs, tag me on Twitter with them. I would love to see your Easter eggs. That would be wonderful. Maybe I'll make a Twitter post about like, hey, send me your Easter eggs. I will save them. I will save them. I would definitely make a video on Easter eggs. I think that would be really cool. Anyway, you all know what time it is. Decklist review time. It's time for Decklist review. All right, you've got a 75. Like some feedback on. Here's what you do, Coffee Crew. You go into my description. You join my Discord. There's a link to my Discord there. You join the channel Decklist review, and in there you submit the command. It's a command! ! Review deck space. Give the URL to your deck list, and you'll be eligible at random for Decklist review. It's banjo time. Well, not before the... You know, what I find funny is that when I'm streaming, eventually this song will come up, and then people are like, oh, it's time for Decklist review. People have been conditioned. You've been conditioned to think Decklist review when you hear this. I know it's dumb, but I like how the commander set with curses is all the same guy. Unluckiest guy ever. Oh, right! That guy. That's a good Easter egg as well. Yeah, all the curses. Can I look that up easily? Curse. I'm just going to look up Curse Guy MTG. Yeah, there's a guy who just has the most rotten luck. I also find that this guy doesn't look like he's from the time period of MTG. This guy apparently is just always unlucky. And yeah, it is the same guy. Not me! This guy has a lot of rings. The curse guy. There's a huge Easter egg on Golden Egg. What's the Easter? Oh, you mean, oh. Quite literally an Easter egg on Golden Egg. Ha ha ha. Cursed guy is supposedly a planeswalker. Maybe the next cursed planeswalker. Like Tybalt. A not so good planeswalker. Anyway. Let's get into Decklist review. Good luck, everyone. And remember, you only need to submit once a week, and then it's good for the rest of the week. And then I delete it on the end of the show on Friday. All right, who do we got here? Oops. We've got Black Vic 07. Congratulations, you're the next contestant on Decklist Review, and you've got yourself a Dothy Rock deck. A Rock playing Ignoble Hierarch, Dothy Voidwalker, Tarmogoyf, Tarash Dread Cantor, and Tireless Tracker. I love Tireless Tracker. I think this is underappreciated card. Very good attacker, very good value. Liliana the Veil, Liliana the Last Hope. Is Liliana the Last Hope all that good these days? Like, is she really? She's sort of, I mean, I'm seeing them a lot in this Decklist review stuff, but, like, I think a lot of people want to play more Liliana Planeswalkers, but she's just not that good. The whole problem is the +1 is not that effective. Maybe yeah, I don't know. I guess it can kill Ragavan. It's okay, I guess. Fatal Push, Inquisition, Thoughtseize, Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, Inscription of Ruin. If the spell was kicked, choose any number. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. Destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. I think this is just a bit expensive. I'm not really impressed with this card. Wanted to recur Voidwalker, but that's not the greatest value. You're minusing this creature just to recur the damn thing. Anyway, I don't think Inscription of Ruin is good. You should just go with another Assassin's Trophy, Maelstrom Pulse, Bloodchief's Thirst, or something like that. Or another 2 Turok Dread Cantor, because you get to get your opponent to discard cards. And I don't even know if you have that many creatures. You know, I think when you play a rock deck, you should have more threats. You have, like, 4 Voidwalker, 4 Tarmogoyf, 4 Tireless Tracker. You're not really like a blue deck or anything like that. You have no evasion. I think you should probably have a few more threats. Oh, but the thing is, Tarash is legendary. I get you, I get you. I'm not impressed with Inscription of Ruin, unless someone out there is, like super high on this card for some reason. The cursed guy is supposedly the Drannith Magistrate. Interesting. Can we send non-modern decks? Absolutely. But not Commander, and not Limited. But Standard, Historic, Legacy, that's all fine. For a mana base, we have Blooming Marsh, Dark Boar Pathway, Field of Ruin, Forest, Hissing Quagmire, Nurturing Peatland, Overgrown Tomb, 3 Swamp, 4 Converting Catacombs, and a Woodland Cemetery. Woodland Cemetery. You know what? Woodland Cemetery is like a little bit of a awkward card because you don't have any opportunity to play. If you have this mana, you can't play turn 1 Ignoble Hierarch, and you can't play turn 1 Thoughtseize, Inquisition, Fatal Push. So actually, I'm not very high on Woodland Cemetery. I think you should just replace it with like a Swamp or another fetch land or something. Not in love with this card. Engineer Explosives, Cling to Dust, Grafdigger's Cage, Soul Guide, Lantern, Break the Ice, Collective Brutality, Seal of Primordium, Ashok, Dream Render, and Plague Engineer. The sideboard is fine. Does Brawl count as commander? Yes. Yes, it does. Yeah, no brutality in this deck. Maybe because brutality doesn't kill enough stuff. Like, everything's 3 toughness or larger. Well, Grimflare takes a little work to turn on. I bet you could make... Like, if you play Grimflare, you might be better off with, like, Mishra's Bauble. Oh, interesting. Castle Ardenvale land art has birds in the front, and those birds are the Silver Wing Squadron. People are still submitting Easter eggs. Selva Spirit is the ghost of selfless Cathar. I don't... Hold on, what is Liliana's Triumph? Each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you control Liliana Planeswalker, each opponent also discards a card. I think Diabolic... Well, I mean, it's actually it's a superior Diabolic Edict, right? Each opponent sacrifices a creature. It is instant speed. If you control Liliana Planeswalker, it's just superior Diabolic Edict. I just want to dump this card. Like, it's expensive. It's 3 mana. Can be even more than that. I don't even think it's that impressive. Yeah, maybe more fetches with Tracker. Get rid of the Woodland Cemetery. How many fetch lands are we even playing? Is it a bit budget? Maybe you're better off with, like, instead of Dark Boar Pathway, which I don't have anything against this card, really. It's a good card. Maybe we are better off with a few more fetch lands. Like, instead of Dark Boar Pathway and Verdant Catacombs, you play with more fetch lands to find Swamps, Forests, or Overgrown Tomb. For sure, you have to remove the Woodland Cemetery. Inscription is good against control. I don't know. It's very clunky. It's very expensive, and it's sorcery speed. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Return target creature card with convert mana cost 2 or less from the I mean, I guess what's good about it is it's flexible, so you can do whatever you want with this card. So it has that going for it. I don't know. I'm not in love with this card, though. Really not in love. Returns Voidwalker to the battlefield. Who cares? I don't even think you should be sacrificing this Voidwalker. What if you don't have Voidwalker in the graveyard? Then what are you doing with this Inscription of Ruin? Like, individually, it's not like a good card. That's my problem. I don't think it's that great. It just does not impress me whatsoever. Is there really no other, like, black-green cards? I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But, like, I've never seen this played against me at all. No Phyrexian Obliterator? No. No Phyrexian Obliterator. We can't play Vindicate because that's white. Is this Mario Kart? Yep. It is Mario Kart. A lot of people are like, is this Nintendo music? Yes, it is. Compare it to, well, I'm not... Those cards are genuinely flexible and good. This one attacks the opponent's hand, which is not that impressive. Sikai's Guile affects the battlefield. Kolaghan's Command affects the battlefield. And has good flexibility. I mean, I guess you destroy target creature with convert mana cost 3 or less. That's not too bad. So, like, that's a worst case scenario. That kicker is enormous, though. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not very impressed with this card, though. The rest of the deck is fine. More fetch lands needed. Definitely get rid of the Woodland Cemetery. It's just a beating. If you have that, if you have, like, 2 Ignoble Hierarchs in your hand and 1 Woodland Cemetery, you'd like to keep it, but you probably can't, because your turn 1 will be spent playing Woodland Cemetery, and then you're doing nothing on turn 2. Anyway, aside from that, I think the list looks very nice. Sweet list. Thank you very much for sharing it, and good luck. Scott the Dark Knight. Congratulations, you're the next contestant on Decklist Review. We've got goblins. David Bowie goblins, though. Someone needs to make a goblin deck and get all the art altered to David Bowie. I mean, truth be told, like, whenever I... Okay, if I look up Goblin King, just randomly on Google, you're not going to find magic stuff. I never find magic stuff. I just see this. This is what Goblin King... Oh, we actually have a little bit. Look at that. Scryfall making it... forcing its way into the search algorithm. But it's heavily dominated by David Bowie. Heavily dominated. It's the true Goblin King, apparently. I didn't know the Goblin King would be such a good dancer and singer. Oh, you want to talk about the Quagmires? Those seem like a cap. Nah, it's okay. Quagmire is okay. I mean, of course, a lot of decks are moving away from the creature lands, but it's still okay. Oh, we got Goblin Guide, Legion Loyalist, Warren Instigator, Goblin Chieftain, Goblin Trashmaster, Krenko Mob Boss, Goblin Grenade, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Strike. Well, there's got to be something better than Lightning Strike. Rift Bolt. Ether Vial. What? Castle Ambreth, 12 Mountains, 4 Scalding Tarn. What do you need the landfall for? Is there something with landfall? Guttural Spawns, Torpor Orb, Blood Moon, Goblin King. The Goblin King's in the sideboard? Other goblins you control get +1/+1. Sacrifice Goblin, destroy target artifact, Chieftain, Double Strike. Okay, so first off, you built your deck in a way, especially with Instigator, that you should have more goblins in this deck. I definitely don't believe in Rift Bolt. This is too slow. And Lightning Strike's pretty slow too. Did they just ban Hull Breacher in EDH? Okay, we could talk about that in a second. I don't know how well Towerfire... Towerfire has the Goblin subtype, but I don't know if it would work so well. Not sure if you know, but there is an Easter egg on every Magic card. Look at the back of any card, and there is a mark on TER letters. It was a print error, and they left it to keep the cards the same. Excellent. Also, they call Deckmaster apparently was like supposed to be some sort of subtype of like set or something, and they just have to they kept the Deckmaster thing for forever. Oh, maybe Skewer would be better. Okay, first off, we need more creatures. You know what? Let's just gut these cards. Let's gut the 7 cards. Let's put Goblin King in the main, even though you are a little bit clunky, and let's try to like just deal with this, because Goblin Grenade and Lightning Bolt are fine. But this is a really clunky burn spell. I mean, there's gotta be... I mean, I don't know, but there has to be something better than this. More lands in place of some of the strike. I think the idea is they want to use their Warren Instigator to cheat stuff in play. But maybe at least one land gets replaced. Ooh, I like that. Mog War Marshals. Okay, so let's replay... Okay, we're gutting Rift Bolt and Lightning Strike. Unless... Is there some flavor to this or something that I'm missing? That has something to do with David Bowie? But I don't think so. So we could remove 1 Lightning Strike, add 1 land. I didn't notice. This deck's playing with Valakut the Molten Pinnacle, so just in case it floods out, you got some flood insurance. Okay, sure. It's a bit cute, but whatever. It doesn't necessarily need Snoop because we're not playing the combo version. Remember, keep in mind, Legacy Goblins doesn't even play Snoop. Because if you can't untap with the Snoop and like play cards from the top of your deck, it's useless. And this deck is playing with a lot of non-creatures. So like even after we take out a Lightning Strike for a land and add 6 creatures, we're only going to be at 29. Like that's okay. That's pretty good, but not necessary. Not necessarily like the greatest for our Snoop. A Pile Driver is actually not too bad of a choice. Okay, let's say... Okay, we're removing Lightning Strike, adding a land. We're removing Rift Bolt. We're adding 4 War Marshal. Is it spelled? Yeah. Well, I spelled it wrong, but knew how to find it. So, which is a 2-mana 1/1, and it creates extra goblins. And this is good. Like, if you don't pay the Echo, that's fine, because you still get the creature. You get an extra creature. It's 2 creatures for... It's like a creature... You get a 1/1 for each 1 mana that you spent on this damn thing. That is going to be good value, because especially you have a lot of Lords in this deck. It will... Having more goblins on the battlefield make your Lords bigger and better. Yeah, War Chief will give haste. War Chief seems mad with all the double red costs? Where? What War Chief? Oh, is that the one? Oh, that was the one, it makes your stuff cost 1 less? Yeah, it won't be that effective in this deck. But especially when you're playing with Aether Vial, you should maximize on like how many like creatures you have, because otherwise you'd be better off with just the mountain so that you can just curve out and cast the Krenko for like 4 mana. Because otherwise you're just waiting until turn 5 to get this Krenko in play. I mean, yeah, you could get it in play earlier with the Instigator. Shrine of Burning Rage? Nah, it doesn't work so well in a deck like this. Foundry Street Denizen. We do have 2 slots left. But I would actually probably play with Pile Driver. I'd probably play with... Oh no, we have Goblin King in the sideboard. Probably we should just have Goblin King in the main deck. We have a lot of Lords. And then I guess we could put 2 Pile Driver in the sideboard. Okay, anyway, that is my suggestion. The main suggestion is gut some of the burn in the main. I think that this stuff is fine. Goblin Grenade will work well with the Marshal, because you can just easily sacrifice one of them and you don't care. But if you have too much burn, I don't know if this deck works so well. Or it doesn't work well with Aether Vial, I should say. Your other option, even from this, is you take out Aether Vial and you just add 4 more mountains so that you can curve out. And if you have 22 lands, I'm pretty confident that you can curve out. But the deal is, if you're playing an Aether Vial deck, you're better off having more creatures in your deck to utilize Aether Vial. You don't have to, and at the very least, I would replace Rift Bolt with something else, because this is a very clunky, slow burn spell. But the more Aether Vials you have in your deck, the better off you'd be with creatures instead of these spells. Anyway, those are my suggestions. You don't have to heed to all of them, but if any of those ideas spark some interest to you, good luck with it. So is there any truth to the Hull Breacher getting banned? Well, let's look at a Hull Breacher banned commander. No changes in EDH. Legal, commander, illegal, nothing. LOL, the site is crashing, but yes. Well, where? I mean, it's still legal according to the Gatherer on Wizards. What's... maybe I should look it up on Twitter. Hull Breacher banned Twitter. Twitter always gives us. Okay, let's just go to Twitter and look it up. Search Twitter for Hull Breacher. Breaking! Hull Breacher has been banned in Commander. We, for one, think this change is likely to make CDH games, on average, much more interactive and action-packed. Well, this is one of those rare times I feel like I got one of my cards banned. However, due to our recording schedule, you'll still be seeing it in our videos for quite a while. Oops. Holy shit, they went and did it. Hull Breacher is banned. Get fucked, Hull Breacher. I played Hull Breacher, and I'm happy it's gone. Rest in peace, Hull Breacher. Where is the OG by Hull Breacher? I won't miss you. So where's the OG post for Hull Breacher? Check Sheldon Menery's Twitter. This was 5 minutes ago, 16 minutes ago. July 2021 announcement is up. They're the head honchos. They know before everybody else. Oh, I see. The site is just crashing now. This shows how many people play Commander. Hull Breacher ban. I can't view this at work, and neither can I. Well, at work, Hull Breacher is banned. I love Hull Breacher. It was a key strategy in my deck, but I am not shedding a tear that it's gone. I think I own a Hull Breacher. Not anymore. Goodbye, Hull Breacher. All right, Hull Breacher is gone. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about it tomorrow morning. For all you Commander players, was Hull Breacher a big deal or what? Now Legacy has to live with it. Not that it's like a powerhouse in Legacy. But it's funny, some of these cards being designed for Commander are now getting banned in Commander. It's just how it is. For Wizards to get that money, they gotta make it playable, but sometimes they make it too playable, don't they? Anyway, thank you very much for joining me today. As usual, you can catch the replay at Nikachu MTG streams. Be there or be square. Also, if I didn't get to your comments, questions, or deck list, hey, we do this Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. If you would like to support the channel and you do not do so already, you can drop a sub at twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. You could also become a patron at patreon.com/NikachuMTG, or you could join on YouTube. So thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for all the suggestions of all the Easter eggs. Maybe we'll bring this discussion up again, because I would love to make a video of all that cool stuff. That Niv Mizzet one blew my mind, to be honest. That was really cool stuff. I really enjoyed that one. It was very creative. It looks like an equation, but really he's fooling you. Niv Mizzet is #1. So thank you very much, everyone, Coffee Crew. So keep brewing up that magic. Brew up that coffee, and we'll keep brewing up magic. See you guys next time.